When you start achieving success with inbound marketing, and I have absolutely no doubt in my mind that you will, you are going to receive an incredible, self-gratifying high. You did it, and it's going to be a reason for you to celebrate. But I have to warn you, inbound marketing is extremely addictive. It's incredibly seductive. The more success you get, the more success you'll want, and the more you're going to crave it. And when that time comes, if you don't know what's working and what's not working, then you are in a world of trouble. It's nearly impossible to figure out how to make the good stuff gooder and how to make the bad stuff go away if you haven't stopped to measure the stuff. And that's why the analyze stage and those steps that I discussed in the previous video are so important. Another reason why this stage is critical is because it makes your competition hard to keep up with you. And that's what I want to talk to you about today in this video. We have to make it hard for the competition to keep up with you. Most small local businesses are not applying this marketing methodology yet. Inbound marketing hasn't really caught on in the small business space. When I speak with local businesses, usually it's not even on their radars. They ask me, inbound what? So I have to explain what it is. It's just not a part of the way that they're currently thinking. Because of this, from the very first moment that you actually start to apply it, you're going to be leaps and bounds ahead of every other local small business that's out there. By the time your competition realizes it, you're going to be so far ahead that they're literally eating your dust. And not only that, but you're also going to realize a disproportionate benefit because you were an early adopter. Yeah, it's always the early adopters that achieve the highest benefit. And that's really, really good news. The bad news, though, is that your benefit is not going to last for very long. The tools that we're using are freely available. The methodology is freely available. With inbound marketing, there are virtually no barriers to entry, or low barriers to entry, and eventually your competition is going to catch on. But by that time, the goal is for you to be so far ahead of them that it's nearly impossible for them to make that competitive leap. So you have to put some work into analyzing. Here is the thing that I want you to keep at the forefront of your mind. Keep it right here. Don't forget it. The first movers, the early adopters, they can't keep their competitive advantage by staying in a steady state. If you want to stay in the front, you can't rest on your laurels and wait for the competition to catch up. You can't stay in stasis. Being in the lead is a blessing, but it's also a curse. Once you're at the top, once you're in the lead, there's always going to be somebody, someone, some business that's clamoring to push you down so that they can be on top themselves. It's a race to the top, essentially, and once you get there, you have to fight. You've got to put on your boxing gloves and you have to fight to stay on the top, which means that you have to always be improving, always be analyzing, ABI, always be improving. Why put in the hard work into getting found and converting if you're going to sit back and take the set it and forget it approach and don't bother to analyze and improve? You really have to make ABI, always be improving. You have to make it a part of your corporate culture. Intel CEO Andy Grove wrote a book about the company called Only the Paranoid Survive. And it's a really good book. You should check it out. But as a good marketer, you need to be an obsessively paranoid marketer. Obsessively paranoid. Commit yourself to measuring and tracking your results over time. Commit yourself to continuously improving and finding creative new ideas and creative ways to grow and to become an even better marketer. You've got to commit yourself to gradually, or to grading those leads and to grading your web elements and content like we discussed in the previous video. And once you've made that commitment, once you've said I do, the next step is to actually take action. And taking action means doing one of two things. Either you're one, duplicating the good, or you're 2, tweaking the bad. We're going to dedicate the next 2 videos to discussing those 2 actions.